AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Our coverage from Super Bowl 60 Radio Row continues. It's Friday. Former Saint great Roman Harper joins us here on site. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing awesome.
I mean, you're always so, what do they call it? Viral. When you're going off on Instagram, I see you every now and then. My algorithms, you pop up quite often on your LSU or New Orleans Saints rants.
Roman.
Especially early in the season. It was a lot of rants. How do you feel now that this season is over? You know, it was less rants by the end.
We're talking about Saints or LSU?
Saints.
So I was never this season, I said this from the beginning of the year, was never going to rant about results.
Okay.
Because win-loss.
Okay.
Because I did not expect this team to win games. I picked them 5 and 12.
Okay.
So I was not going to go. But there were instances where I thought if it deserved criticism, then I was going to do it. Like, for example, do week 1. Like, the end of, I don't know if you remember this, I don't know how much you get to lock in the Saints, but do week 1, Kellen Moore, at the end of the first half, it's like he forgot he was the guy that got to call the timeouts. And they blew an opportunity to get points. It's like, that's a moment where I could criticize. But where you have to give the man his flowers by the end of the season.
Yes.
They had total buy-in despite a 7-game losing streak and ended up winning, with 5 of their last 6. It was impressive, right?
I literally, when I would go by the building, the couple times I got to go by, the wins were not there, but everybody that was around the team couldn't stop raving about the players are happy. The players seem really together. They like Kellen Moore. You can just tell. I'm like, really? They don't play really good. They're terrible looking. They're like, I know. We're not that talented yet, but man, it's going to be okay. Like, the players are happy. They're together. It's a vibe in the locker room. It's really, really good. And I was like, all right. And then all of a sudden, when Tyler Shuck kind of stepped in there and they got on fire, they were one of the hottest teams in the NFL at the end of the season, which was really good to see. And if you win in games in December, that's usually a playoff type of team. They missed out on that, but it's fine. They'll get a good draft pick and they have more confidence going into next year.
It's interesting. So DeMario was here on Monday with us, and he said, I asked him, because he's played for a lot of different coaches, from Rex Ryan and Hugh Jackson, and he's Sean Payton, he's Dennis Allen. He's seen sort of the gamut. And I asked him, what his impressions were of Kellen Moore, and they're the same age, Roman. And he said,
I knew that.
He said, I didn't know what to expect. We said, but he coached us the same way week 1 as he did during the 7-game losing streak and the winning streak at the end. So, I mean, look, if you were a veteran on that team, like, do you see, like, you're right. I mean, they weren't very good, very talented. And a lot of that is they just got to rebuild this roster. But like, give me your impression as a veteran player looking at the young coach being able to do that.
I think that's just his personality. The fact that you don't try and change or be somebody else, I think that's always valuable, because ultimately when you're up there in front of the room, when you have to lead, you're not just calling plays, then your personality has to show at some point, and you can't be fake. Guys see through that eventually, especially the veteran guys who've seen a lot of guys. Being yourself is really the biggest strength. And so if you can do that and guys can buy into who you are, and then all of a sudden we line up and we're all in same alignment, that's when you get greatness. And so Ron Rivera, for me, was a coach that was always the same. I was in Carolina in 2014, my first year there. We lost 7 or 8 straight games. We went 2 months where we didn't win a game. And Ron Rivera was just like steady Eddie. He's like, guys, I still believe in this team. I think we still can do blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden we got hot. We won 5 or 6 out of the last whatever games, and that's how we got in the playoffs because everybody else in the NFC South imploded.
I remember.
And so that happened.
7-9, right?
Yes.
7-9 and got in. I remember.
No, we were 7-8-1.
7-8-1.
Everybody else was 7-9.
Yep.
That's why we got in.
I remember.
So that's what
you almost won a playoff game.
we did win a playoff game.
You did.
We almost went to Seattle and won a playoff game. We lost late in Seattle.
Do you remember that? Yeah,
We weren't, but we had been terrible.
Yeah.
That year. And I give Ron a ton of credit for just being steady. We're like, I came from Sean Payton, who if we're losing 2 or 3 games in a row, he's a maniac. He's not the same. He's like hot, cold. He's excited when we win. When we're losing, he's pissed off. He's so angry. Somebody's going to get cut, right? It's like, I got to like rock the boat. So that's what I was used to. And then I went to Carolina and I saw it done completely differently. And I was like, and I thought it was going to not work. And then all of a sudden it worked. And I was like, you know what? That to me was something that I learned, that it's more than one way to skin a cat. It's more than one way to be a dynamic, successful head coach. The biggest thing is being yourself and then learning your team because it changes from year to year. Yeah. And if you're steady Eddie and these guys can continue to buy into who you are transparently and everybody having a game plan, then you can execute it. And I think that's what I got to see out of the Saints this year.
Yeah. Speaking of game plan, Roman Harper's with us. It was interesting. I knew that we were going to have you, and I just happened to be scrolling Twitter, and NFL media on Twitter posted a video of like behind the scenes video of ambush from the Super Bowl. It being here, obviously Super Bowl, it's relevant. And you were on the field. I've noticed you were on the field for the play. Like you were on that kickoff team. What do you remember? Because Chris Reese recovered the onside kick. What do you remember about that play? Did you blow somebody up? What'd you do on that play?
No, the play was actually designed to go to me. I was supposed to recover it. So that's what it was. So Thomas Morstead had this unique ability to be able to kick the ball sideways. He was a rookie, and shout out to Thomas, who's in San Francisco punting this year. And so he had this unique ability. So we had practiced this play all year long. And so I always recovered it. And so the biggest thing was like, don't go too fast and like kick it off your foot, Roman. Just recover it. And we practiced it. For 10, 12 weeks, right? And then we get in at halftime, and Sean comes up to the defense because it's an extended halftime, and we're kind of sitting there. He comes right by me, looks at everybody, specifically me, said, we're calling ambush. And we all defense like, all right, man, call it. Let's go. Like, come on. Like, It's a whole bunch of bravado in the locker room at halftime. So I'm telling you, it's a lot. All right. So everybody's like, call it. Yeah, call it. I'm like, all right, then let's do it. And then he walks away.
So what you're saying is they were using more colorful language than call.
Yes. There we go.
You're being radio specific.
Yes,
Thank you for
I'm
that.
a professional.
Yeah,
okay, I'm a professional.
Thank you.
And so that happens, and then he walks away because I thought he was just talking it because that's Sean. And then I didn't know he'd actually stick with it. And then by the time we're about to go back out, he's like, "We're running it. Let's do it." He's like, "Y'all, we got your back." Because ultimately he's making the call. Yeah. We kind of have to recover this. Like, recovering this is very important. So we got your back. And then we go out. We had practiced it. And my biggest thing was when it came off his foot, I just wanted to make sure I corralled it, be ready for it. And then Hank Baskins, or whatever his name was, hit it. Carol Baskins. I don't know why. It's Hank Basket.
Bro, Carol Baskins was the Tiger King.
That's what I said.
Where did that go in your brain? Where did your brain just default?
Because I drank last night. It was funny.
You just glitched.
So
you just totally had a recall of K. Called said Carol Basket.
Yeah. Because that's called, it was Hank.
Oh, man.
I forget his last name right off the top. But anyways, it hit off of him and it bounced to Chris Reese because Chris was actually supposed to go block him. And I just had to be ready to recover it. Once he got 10 and started to roll back, that's what I was ready for. So I'm down ready. And it hit off of him and bounced into Chris. And then I just dive on Chris. And then everybody, it was so crazy. It was just, and I see Chris and my feet are kind of tangled underneath the pile and I'm just covering him up. And he's just like, I was like, he's got it. He's like, Rome, I got it. So I'm protecting him and it was awesome. But the funny thing is that we never practiced if something went wrong. like the whole time.
It's always just going to be flawless.
It was always just going to just work. Yeah. And that had never happened where somebody like we pretended that it hit off somebody or we have to ricochet. Like that never happened. And it just So that was the first time it had never not worked the way it was supposed to. So really good time. And ultimately, Chris gets so much of the love and the credit, which he all deserves it. But yeah, it was actually designed to go to me.
That's one of those plays, Roman, where it's literally one of the most famous plays in Super Bowl history.
It'll never happen again either, because you have to declare.
It literally you can never surprise onside kick. But it's literally one of the most famous plays in Super Bowl history. And when that's happened, and it's been 16 years now, you feel like you've heard every story about that play. I don't think I've ever heard that. So I'm sure you've told that story before. I don't think I've ever heard it. So that's incredible. I'm sure there's other people.
Oh, appreciate it.
Our chat with Roman Harper will continue when we come back, because I do have to talk to Roman about two of his former teammates being elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Drew Brees, Luke Kuechly. Oh, by the way, we might also dive. What just happened there? Brian Kelly family did a dive in to LSU and Alabama. We'll get to that as we continue. Hey, by the way, let me remind you, First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com. Firstsouthland.com. Thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Remember, the ultimate recreational land buyer's guide, free resource available at the website, firstsouthland.com. firstsouthland.com. Check it out there. If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. firstsouthland.com. Okay, y'all. Excuse me. Let me knock out a break. Come back. We'll resume our conversation with Roman Harper. And you're going to want to hear his thoughts on Luke Kuechly, on Drew Brees, on Lane Kiffin, on LSU, Alabama. That's all coming up with Roman Harper as we continue from Radio Row Super Bowl 60, presented by FMOL Health. This is how we healthcare.
After further review.
We're brought to you by the Watermark and the Renaissance. Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Check them out, y'all. Two amazing hotel properties. Hey, it's Mardi Gras season, maybe for a Spanish Town or one of the other parades, or maybe one of the balls. If you're going to an event in downtown Baton Rouge, could not recommend highly enough. Get you a room at Watermark Baton Rouge. Experience downtown Baton Rouge. Stay at the Watermark. Dine at the Gregory inside of the Watermark. Milford's on 3rd is sort of the more casual sandwich shop that exits onto 3rd Street. There's the beautiful lobby bar, glass of wine, cocktail, great whiskey list. It's all there for you at Watermark Baton Rouge. Great place to stay if you're going to be at an event downtown. Walkable to everything. Oh, and they can host any event. At a wedding reception, a fundraiser, a board meeting. Remember, Baton Rouge's premier hotel property downtown. It's Watermark Baton Rouge. Check them out at Watermark Baton Rouge.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. AFR, live from Super Bowl 60 Radio Row, presented by FMOL Health. This is how we healthcare.
We continue our conversation with Roman Harper from Radio Row Super Bowl 60, and I asked about two of his former teammates being elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Luke Kuechly with the Panthers, and of course, Drew Brees with the New Orleans Saints.
I'm so happy for both of those guys. They truly both deserve it. Luke, I'll start with Drew. Drew's he's just a special guy, the best competitor, first in, last one to leave. It's exactly what I thought a quarterback is supposed to look like. I don't know about look like, but
physically,
yeah. But the way he worked, his work ethic, his leadership, his accuracy, the way he delivered the football, but every single day, the way I saw him work at it was second to none. And so I remember, I'll never forget. We played Atlanta. He threw 4 or 5 interceptions in a game, and in Atlanta, and we lost the game that year. And he was just distraught. It was the only time I'd ever seen Drew played bad, right? It just doesn't happen. And we come in and everybody's just kind of down, but Drew comes up there and immediately is like, hey guys, look, I let us down. I will work so hard. I will never allow this to happen again. This, that, and other, blah, blah, blah. And immediately everybody's just like, we appreciate that, Drew, but dude, we're only reason we even here is because of you. And so don't say that. And we got your back. It doesn't matter. We've lost a lot of games because of everybody else except you. Yeah. And so don't worry about that. And that kind of lets you know exactly who he is. And I was always grateful to be a great teammate. And Drew and I had a special relationship because I always worked out my hardest on Fridays, and that was his big day as well in the weight room. So he'd go through practice, then he'd do all his extra work where he's doing kind of simulating the game in his mind, visualizing it and going through every throw. And he'd move the ball, but he doesn't even have a ball. He's just doing Drew stuff on the field by himself, solo, for like 45 minutes after everybody's gone. And then me and him would have certain competitions in the weight room. So we pick 5 games, college games, the over, under, the spread. Purdue always had to be one on there. Okay. So and Alabama always had to be on there. Yeah. So I was already up 2-0 every week, right? Every week I'm up 2-0. So let's just start it there. And then we have a ball roll competition or something crazy in the weight room set up where we compete on that. And we put $100 up every week on and we keep track of it every year. And so we did this for like 3 or 4 years. And so we'd always have that. That's a great special relationship I always had with Drew just because of that. And then as far as Luke Kuechly, I'm so happy and pleasantly surprised that he got in when he did in, because I know a lot of people try and say the longevity, how long the career was and things of that nature. But he's the best linebacker I've ever played with. He was special. He was fast. He was so athletic. He is a great person. And my wife would always talk about, because Luke's like unnaturally the nicest person you've ever seen in your life. Like, I've never seen anybody so nice as him. He's like innocent. He's like a little boy. He comes off that way. He is. It seems genuine. You know, he caught me talking trash to Roddy White in a game, and he reminds me of the little boy that's in the movie Incredibles. I don't know if you've seen it. Not a movie guy, but I know what you're talking about. The red suit family with all the shoes. He's going to laugh at me. But the neighbor kid. But the neighbor kid that's just impressed with everything. Like, that's Luke. He's just excited about everything that he sees all the time. And he would help me. We stayed in the same condo and building downtown when I played there. And he'd literally help me take groceries to my place when I got my kids or something. He's just nice. Yeah. He's the nicest guy ever, and nobody deserves it more. I was pleasantly surprised that he got in, and that's a credit to him and everything that he built as a linebacker for that Carolina Panthers defense. And he was just so talented. Some of the plays that I saw him do were absolutely amazing. And for him to just be the same guy, so many people are going to be so happy because we all cherish Luke and we all look at him like a little brother that is just the most talented guy we know. That's really cool. Roman Harper, hey, before you go, respect that you're rocking your Alabama logo. I mean, tough season. You'll keep losing 4 games. You're going to fire your coach after this year. So the fact that you can still rock the crimson and white there, Bama's burning and all that stuff. Look, if I get in your algorithm, I'm relentless. Just so you know that. You let me in your algo. I love that. I've actually double clicked the like too. I don't ghost follow either. I'm not a ghost guy either, because it's a lot of ghosters out there that just they see it and you should double click, but they just scroll by. Those are the ghost followers out there. Cam Newton has called them out previously. So yeah, I'm not one of those. I will say this. It's been hilarious to see because Alabama has improved. We were better last year than we were the year before. We went to the playoffs. We actually won a playoff game. Yeah, I saw that. Like all these and lost 4 games. Yeah. And so it was a tough 4 games that they lost. And so look, Alabama fans have the fantasy. They live in fantasy land, right? That they have been so great for so long. College football is not what it was 4 years ago. It's the reason why Nick Saban left. It's the reason why Nick Saban lost 2 games the last 3 or 4 years of his coaching career every year. And so it's hard. I can't wait to see how they continue to build out this thing. And Kalen DeBoer, I like him as a person, but I'll tell you this though, Alabama's got to become tougher. They got to be a tougher team. Physically, they got to get tougher. And then mentally, I think you got to be tougher as well. And I can't wait to see at some point, you got to get some angry guys. I need more angry guys on that sideline. I've been on that sideline a lot. I need more angry guys for Alabama. If you do that, I think the sky's the limit. And they got to find a way to be a more physical run team and be able to stop the run as well. But your coach is going to – I wonder how long is your coach going to be there at LSU? How long is he going to be there? 5 years. 5 years. Is that fair, you think? 4? Yeah, okay. You're already coming down. So 4, 5? Does that sound about right? I mean, I look at a coach's track record. I mean,
look at what Lane does. Listen, if Lane stays at LSU for 4 or 5 years and wins a championship and then goes to the NFL or something, thank you. Awesome. Great.
I think there's zero chance he goes to the NFL, but I could see him be there 5 years. And when he leaves, it's going to go up in smoke because that's just what he does. Like, he can't help it. But if you guys do get a championship, I guess it's worth it.
Isn't it?
You would think so.
Like, that's the point.
Yeah, you would think so. I just don't know if he's going to win one. It's just so hard. And
it is hard.
It's because he leaves Ole Miss, and Ole Miss kind of got better.
Ooh. I mean, like, you have to at least acknowledge. And listen, I criticize Lane a lot because he hasn't won anything of significance. He's won 2 Conference USA titles. Like, he still has to prove.
Yeah.
But as the sample size grows, you can change your opinion based on new information. Clemsoning used to be a thing until Dabo won championships.
Correct.
Ryan Day was going to get fired, and then he won a national championship.
And they still may fire him. They still may fire him.
But narratives change as sample size grows.
Yes.
And with Lane, like, that Ole Miss season, he deserves the credit. He built the team. He built the roster. Straight Chambliss offense. Like, he gets credit for that.
I agree.
Like, I'm not impressed that they beat Tulane. The Georgia win was incredible.
Yes, I give Ole Miss in Lane. I just wish Lane would have been more honest. I wish Lane a little bit more transparent. It's like, you know what? Don't talk about all these other coaches making the decision for you. Just say, look, I can recruit more high school players, and I think I have a better chance of winning a national championship at LSU. So that's why I'm going.
Yeah.
I want to do that. I want him to be honest and own that, because ultimately he kind of got lucky. Trinidad Chambliss fell into his lap. Nobody thought your backup quarterback was going to be the guy that actually led you to a playoff run.
Doesn't he get credit for recruiting him?
I think he has to. And so, understanding that is like, I think Lane looked at that as like, dude, we're having our greatest season ever when nobody thought we were, because everybody thought the year before was going to be the team.
Should have been, right?
Yeah. And then all of a sudden we don't. We lose the wrong games. And all of a sudden this year we do. And it's really with a backup Division II championship quarterback that nobody said was going to be our guy, and he's our guy. So we kind of got lucky. So let me strike while the iron's hot. I don't blame him for that. I just wish we'd have been more transparent. He could have handled it better. I think Ole Miss could have handled it better as well. And so that being said, ultimately we'll see what happens, because now with Dabo bringing all the receipts like I've never seen before. Bro. At college, I mean, dude, I had never seen that before. And I'm not even mad at Dabo. The dude brought all the receipts. And we're going to see what happens. I mean, I'm sure Ole Miss is going to happen. Ole Miss has to get punished or something, but we'll see what happens. I don't know.
He's Roman Harper. We got to promote anything? What you got going on? What can we promote for you?
No, dude, I'm good, man.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, just shout me out.
Y'all,
give me a follow. Most of the Louisiana people probably already follow me already.
Double tap him on Instagram, because he's not ghost following me. He loves my Bama's burning content, clearly. Roman Harper. Thank you, man.
No doubt.
Great conversation with Roman Harper. We appreciate Roman for his time here. Of course, we appreciate y'all for hanging out with us all week from Radio Row here at Super Bowl 60. We are brought to you by Supper Club, supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com. As a matter of fact, just while we were airing the second half of that Roman Harper interview, I noticed a familiar face. Dunham quarterback Elijah Haven is here. So just got to see Elijah and his dad, Kwame, which is a crazy thing. Kwame's wearing, Elijah's dad is from Atlanta, and he's wearing a 49ers jersey. And I'm like, how can you be a Falcons fan from Atlanta and also like the Niners from when they were in the same division in the old NFC West? But I don't know. That's how things go. Hey, supperclubbtr.com. That's what I was starting to tell you. Supperclubbtr.com. Get your reservations. A week from tomorrow is Valentine's Day. All this coming week, make sure you celebrate Valentine's early. Supperclubbtr.com can help you do it. Supperclubbtr.com. Man, I'm going to tell you, I've had a lot of good meals here in San Francisco. I'm telling you, I'd put that Japanese Omi beef, the Australian Wagyu, any of those Sagrera cuts. I'd put any meal. I mean, the Chilean sea bass, any of it. The crudo, it's incredible. Anything that you want at Supper Club. People ask me for Rex all the time. It don't matter. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe it. Pick something that's going to be the best meal you ever had. Supperclubbtr.com. Supperclubbtr.com. All right, it's After Further Review, our coverage all week, presented by FMOL Health. This is how we healthcare. Let me knock out a break. We'll continue. 2 segments to go here from Radio Row on AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. You've been injured in an accident. It's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. Get Gordon and get it done. You go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com for Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. All different types of injuries. If it's an accident, it's not your fault. You've been injured. You need representation. So go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com. Listen, it could be car wrecks. It could be big truck wrecks. It could be slip and fall. It could be workers' comp. If you've been injured, you've been inconvenienced as a result, you need to get what you're entitled to. Don't go it alone. You can trust Gordon and his team with offices all over the state of Louisiana. It's so easy, y'all. Just call 888-8888, 888-8888. One more time, 888-8888. Or go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com. Get in touch with one of Gordon's attorneys on his team. Getgordon.com is the website to call. Get Gordon and get it done.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. After Further Review with Matt Moscona, live from Super Bowl 60 Radio Row in San Francisco, presented by FMOL Health. This is how we healthcare.
Back from Radio Row, Super Bowl 60, our coverage all week, presented by FMOL Health, and fitting an appropriate tie as we have Brian Jones and Dr. Christina Gavignano with us. Brian Jones, former NFL player, CBS Sports college football analyst, and Dr. Gavignano is going to be a fascinating part of this conversation as well because she has the patent on the first ever CTE drug, which we'll talk about here in a smidge. Brian, Doc, how are y'all? Thank you for the time.
Yeah, we're doing well. Thank you.
Doing outstanding. Thank you.
Yeah, so let's be Super Bowl 60. Brian, I'll start with you. Patriots, Seahawks, feeling early lean on this game, middle of the week?
I'm leaning the new Legion of Boom, the Legion of Boom Redux. That Seattle defense, both of these defense come highly regarded. But what Seattle did this year, it was amazing. I don't think we didn't envision either of these teams being here, right? At the end of the season, the last two standing. But I'm leaning Seattle. If Darnold shows up, the right Sam Darnold shows up, I think they can win. I absolutely love what Drake May has done. I loved him when he was at UNC. He's a true dual threat. I think his leg's going to have to play a big role in this contest.
As a college football analyst, could you have foreseen May or Darnold coming out of school being at this point?
Yes. This early for May, no. But, yes, I like Darnold when he was at USC.
Yeah.
He's always been a cool customer. He may not fit the bill. You know, he's not the tallest guy or may not have that physique, but he was always a smart quarterback and always produced. And Drake May, as I said, man, he was a threat as soon as he stepped on campus there for Coach Brown. And so I thought both were perfect as far as their skill sets for this league, and they're proving that thus far.
Dr. Gavignano, where's home?
Home right now is Atlanta, but I was born and raised in Massachusetts.
Oh, so you're did you grow up a Patriots fan?
I did.
So you had to kind of be, right?
And I still am. Hey, but I still have love for the Saints and, watching their quarterback battles this year. It's been fun with first Spencer Rattler and then Shuck came in.
Yeah.
And, it's been a lot of fun to see who's going to settle there.
How does someone from Boston who lives in Atlanta deep dive knowing about the Saints and the quarterback?
Atlanta, that's a rivalry. Man, I had no idea how huge that rivalry was until I went and played for the Saints. And I was like, what? This is a huge rivalry?
Oh, man.
No whatsoever insight into that particular contest. But, man, that's huge.
And I love football.
And it's not just Saints Falcons. It's the cities. It's New Orleans and Atlanta. Most anything you talk about with folks in New Orleans, they'll would love to mention 28-3. You'll see 28-3 flags all over New Orleans still these days. So, so Doc, for you though, is it more Falcons or is it more Pats?
It's more Patriots. I got to be honest. It's nostalgia. I grew up that way.
It's better that way.
Yeah.
Is that it? What was, I guess, the impetus for you to start working on the CTE research?
So for us, basically started my own PhD work looking at inflammation and finding out inflammation drives so many diseases.
Sure.
And what we've seen is we've done a number of clinical trials with this particular drug. It's actually made by Lilly and approved for other diseases. And my group discovered, invented that it has utility across so many other diseases because inflammation really drives so much. And with respect to CTE and brain diseases, we've seen that it works in our other clinical trials to reduce inflammation in the setting of HIV neurocognitive impairment. And we're now looking at it for depression. And there's a phase 2 for the same class of drug over at Harvard with collaborators of ours for Alzheimer's disease.
Wow.
And so what we're doing is the first sub-study coming up very soon. And we're partnering with the Concussion Foundation and Chris Nowitzki to enroll former NFL players for this first open label study, really get a proof of principle and see if we can reduce the inflammation that causes your cells to not be able to talk to each other. And when they can't talk to each other, they roll up in a ball and die. And you have all these effects. Basically bring that inflammation back down to healthy, normal levels and get people back to life. We want to offer hope.
Brian, how did you get involved?
Well, we have a mutual friend, and I did my research on Dr. Gavignano and all her studies and the success she's had in other areas that she just conveyed. And and the fact that there's hope and promise on the horizon, possibly with her treatment, that got me excited. And I wanted to take part in promoting what she's done and what she's doing. And so that's how we entered into this partnership. And, you know, I play the game. I'm on text threads with former players, and we're all discussing our health. Right. Currently, it's not a stigma anymore to discuss mental health and all the issues in which we are dealing with on a day-to-day basis. I always say the first thing that says hi in the morning is inflammation. Something's hurting. And then that goes around, that covers pretty much the entire lot of former players. It was a brutal, violent game, but we loved it because of the violence, and that's why we would partake. So the fact that Doc is on the cusp of possibly, hopefully finding a treatment for those diseases we can't see. These brain injuries we've sustained via concussions or other, walks of life, because this is not just for sports. This is for everyone. Hopefully, if we arrive at the outcome in which we think is possible, so everyone can benefit. But it gives me a lot of excitement. The fact that the Holy Grail may be, right there within our reach.
And so much, even as Doc was just explaining, beyond CTE,
yes,
HIV, about all
those other afflictions, man. Yeah.
Brian Jones and Dr. Christina Gavignano are here with us, Radio Row, from Super Bowl 60, our coverage all week presented by FMOL Health. What was it like playing for Mike Ditka?
Terrible.
Those teams were awful. Well, you got some of the end of Jim Mora, though, right?
Coach Mora was great, man. Coach Mora was fiery. He cared, though. And he coached as such, and he was outstanding. And if you show up, do what you're supposed to do, he left you alone. But he was a hoot, man. I still have some great memories from Coach Mora. With Coach Dick, it was a circus. Let's just say that it was truly.
You were there when Ricky got drafted.
No, I was gone.
The year after. 99,
yeah,
right.
He came the year after I was done, and Ricky got drafted into that whole. Speaking of circus, that was a circus. Oh, man, that was crazy. But I thoroughly enjoyed my time in New Orleans. I remember the first booster club. Yes, NFL teams have booster clubs. I was shocked that they did, at least this one. And I remember going to a booster club meeting there in New Orleans, and this elderly lady saunters up to me and starts breaking down coverages. This is different. They really care about ball here, man. Even though the team was down, we had good defenses when I was there. Offensively, we were challenged at a lot of the times, but still, whole host of friends that I keep in touch with from those days. In New Orleans, it's my second city. I'm a Texan at heart, but playing there, it was great fun.
Longhorns are now in the SEC. Texas will come to Baton Rouge this year, take on LSU.
Oh, y'all want some? Come on.
I mean, all I know is LSU's won 3 national titles since 2003, and it's been a hot minute. I mean, VY had a great year.
Well, we won one since then. All right, since 2006.
You want to talk about Joe Burrow in 2019?
Oh, that's right, Joe.
LSU won in 2007.
Great team.
With our guy,
and we were there, and my CBS sports work. We were there in Tuscaloosa for that great game back in 2019. What a wonderful atmosphere.
I want to talk about the clinical trials that are getting started here in just a second. One more though. Give me a thought, if you would, on Lane Kiffin at LSU.
Well, one of the premier play callers. He's always had that label because he's fantastic in that regard. And he's going to a program that he's coveted. And now I think the resources are vast there at LSU, and I think he'll do a wonderful job.
Dr. Gavignano, you does see on the bio that so you're a Harvard grad.
Yes, sir.
Would Harvard ever go all in on NIL and just buy the greatest team ever?
Oh gosh.
They could.
With
Harvard's endowment, they could build a campus out of solid gold and not run out of money. They could buy a roster.
They could. Harvard's actually big with the CTE front. We're collaborating with them, and they have a Mass General and go crosstalk with BU actually for the largest brain bank with Chris Nowitzki's foundation for CTE. And they're all in a lot of ways, especially with brain health. But I don't think they're going to build out the football team.
I think you're probably right. Just different priorities, not good or bad. Just different.
Right. Yeah.
But so I did see. So clinical trials begin later this month. What do people need to know?
So the clinical trial is opening in Atlanta. That's where we're based. And we're working with the Concussion Foundation, concussionandctefoundation.org for the recruiting.
Can you say that again?
Yes, Concussion and CTE
so
Foundation.
You spell out A-N-D?
Yes, sir.
So Concussion
and CTE.
And CTE.
Foundation.org.
Foundation.org.
And they're handling the recruitment of former NFL players. And it's really a proof of principle to see if we can't bring down those inflammatory markers like we have with other diseases. And from there, we'll be able to jumpstart much larger trials and get to folks not only from the NFL, but maybe college and other sports and anyone that may fall in this category who's even not a professional athlete.
Incredible. Go Tigers and who dat, by the way. Brian.
I ain't saying that unless you give me some mud bugs.
Oh, no, we can make that happen.
Oh, I love me some mud bugs.
Maybe not in San Francisco, but we're getting into
we can find
now.
some here, right? We're in season. I just had some in Tyler, Texas a couple weeks ago.
I was about to say,
they're here, baby.
They're here. Oh, they've been here. They've been in Louisiana since late December.
Now, is it true? I remember this from my New Orleans days. It's all the months with an R, right? You can get them, supposedly.
Ribs, do you know that? I hadn't heard that before.
Never heard that. I got that from New Orleans. All the months with an R.
Or is that the ones that?
Yeah.
I just know for the cold weather months.
Yes.
Till about the end of March Madness is when, and then in June you're getting into crab season. I don't know.
Right. June. That's April.
Yeah.
March Madness. So May, June, July, August.
Yeah, you're out.
Forget about it. Now they come back around possibly September.
And I ain't eating crawfish in September. I'll tell you, that's way too early, man. December feels early.
It's never too early. I could eat them every day. Got my technique down.
Too small. That's the problem.
Yeah, that'd be too small. You're right. You got your technique down? Everyone thought it's too much work. No, it's not.
Oh, man.
Switch that tail, suck the head, pinch it, and pull it.
Lived my whole life in Louisiana.
Come on, you better have it now.
I better, man. They would excommunicate me.
There you go.
Brian Jones and Dr. Christina Gavignano here from Radio Row. Our coverage brought to you by FMOL Health. Thank you both for the time. What a great way to make our way almost to the finish line here from Radio Row. We are brought to you by South Point Volkswagen and SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com. SouthPointVW.com. They sell more Volkswagens than anyone, meaning they can give you a better deal than anyone. It's at South Point Volkswagen. And, of course, they got the best selection as well. So what that means is if you're looking for a certain model, body style, certain features, of course, our friends over at South Point Volkswagen have it. They can find it for you. It's at South Point Volkswagen. Of course, they'll give you the best deal as well. SouthPointVW.com, SouthPointVW.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? Okay, y'all, it's after further review. We got one segment to go here from Radio Row at Super Bowl 60, presented by FMOL Health. It's been a great week, and we'll wrap it up when we come back here on, on Radio Row. We will give you our final predictions for Super Bowl 60 with the Seahawks and the New England Patriots. We'll do that to wrap up next here. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. With locations all over South Louisiana, you are never far from a Shawbills location. Hey, remember, our friends over in Youngsville are looking to hire a trained, experienced technician at Shawbills in Youngsville. So you can log on,
ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. You get information, contact information, all that stuff. Swing by. If you live in Youngsville, near Youngsville, or might live in Youngsville, one of the fastest growing communities in Louisiana, Shaw Bills has a monster bonus plan, great benefits, 5-day work week, and an awesome company that's been locally owned and operated since 1968. It's Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service. Go to ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills, where we keep you rolling.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. After further review with Matt Moscona, live from Super Bowl 60 Radio Row in San Francisco, presented by FMOL Health. This is how we healthcare.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here from Radio Row Super Bowl 60 team meeting. Everybody in.
Everybody in.
Riv,
Put your hands
Huey, Ross, Jackson, gang's here. Good work this week.
The gang goes to San Francisco.
That's right.
Here we are. Rivs, what was your favorite part of the week?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I do love hanging out with y'all during the day. But I also like going to parties, so that's been my favorite part.
Rivs went and did she went and did Super Bowl. Ross and I did not.
Nope.
Ross and I were like, I go to bed at 9 o'clock.
Yeah. I mean, this morning when I was like fighting for my life, I considered that maybe you were the smarter of decision makers, but I'm turning a corner.
Ross and I rode a Waymo.
We did a Waymo. I was going to say,
how was that?
100% one of my favorite parts.
That was so good.
Yeah.
I posted the video, and Ross and I were both so dumb. We're both videoing inside the Waymo, and then we're videoing each other, videoing the Waymo.
Right. There's actually on mine, because Matt actually used the light on his phone, where I turn to look at him, he turns to look at me, and so then my camera just explodes with light the entire way through. But it was great.
What about?
I think just seeing people, though. I mean, like, to be honest, and this applies to this room and those parties. I mean, it's the same thing. I think the Super Bowl is such a fun sort of hodgepodge of not just athletes or sports media people, but just anybody who's influencing anything.
Yeah.
And so it's like when I went to the party the other night, I told you it was like strange. I was looking around. I was like, all right, like normal person, Matt James from The Bachelor, normal person, Mark Cuban. It was just like a weird, and like everyone's like, sponsored by someone. Although I'm really disappointed. I tried my hardest to get somebody who was sponsored by porkrinds.com, and I just couldn't make it happen.
You love pork rinds?
I love pork rinds.
I didn't know.
If porkrinds.com, I know y'all are watching.
That's
if you're looking for new influencers.
I'm going to tell you, I don't ever complain about being at a media thing where they give you free stuff, right? Yeah. Because you'd have to pay for it or whatever. A little lean here, man. You had to go up.
Use a little more free stuff, guys.
My point, you had to go up to like 10,000 feet in the air up the two most giant escalators. Very inconvenient to get up there just to get crappy canned water.
Yeah.
And
assuming it was stocked.
Look, and if you haven't already,
and all they had were like Rice Krispie treats and apples.
If you haven't already, you should read Ross's piece on LouisianaSports.net.
Yes,
about our experience here and the difference in this one and in New Orleans. But I feel like
insight from a lot of people who aren't us too, like a lot of media members from around.
I feel like New Orleans was so much different. There was a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
We had a table full of stuff.
Yeah.
I know.
And it was a Super Bowl in a city that felt like it was a Super Bowl in the city that it was in.
Yeah.
If that made any sense.
LA, we're looking at you.
Yeah.
What do you have for us?
Do it big, LA.
Yeah.
Steal a line from the Pels. Remember when Pels were hashtag do it big?
Do it big.
But hashtag do it big looked like dolt big. Because there was a capital
That's what
I.
it is now.
So it looked like DOLT, dolt big.
That
dolt
tracks.
big. Okay, so we got 90 seconds left. Who's going to win the Super Bowl and why? We'll actually talk about the Super Bowl for the first
all week.
Can you, as a person, do you find yourself cheering for the Patriots?
I
find that tough.
Well,
our neighbors were big Patriots people.
They were. And I guess there's a lot of LSU.
And they were tough.
There's a lot of LSU players who play for the Patriots.
I would like to see the LSU guys have success. And by the way, I hate the Seahawks. I mean, Beastquake, and then in 2010, some great Saints teams like they had a rough go with those Legion of Boom era. So like, there's nothing in Seattle that I cheer for at all. So I kind of would like to see Will Campbell and those guys, and I think I keep having to like shake myself and remember Kayshon Boutte's 23.
That's amazing. Like
23.
That's wild.
Yeah. It feels like
what I would give.
Yeah, right. but just because he's been in our awareness for so long, like it just feels older than that. Okay, so we got we're running out of time. Pick
Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm going Seahawks as well. I'm rooting for Rashid Shaheed.
I'm going. I am going.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
Yeah, I'm picking Seattle as well. So congratulations to the New England Patriots on winning your 11 bajillion Super Bowl.
Take the screenshot.
Yeah, for real. It's just how it's going to go. All right, hey, we appreciate sincerely FMOL Health. Like, we don't get to do cool stuff like this and bring you all content at places like this without great sponsors that make it happen. And our friends at FMOL Health stepped up big to send us here. So we're thrilled. Muse Pauly back in studio. Great job all week. We appreciate y'all sincerely. Have a great one. See you Monday.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, remind you about our friends at Parish Construction and Roofing. And by our friends, I mean like me at Parish Construction and all of our great team at Parish Construction and Roofing. I've been teasing it all week. Coming up on Sunday, big announcement. You can sort of get the teases on our social media at Parish Built, at Parish Built, at Parish Built, at Parish Built. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the stuff, YouTube, TikTok, and LinkedIn, all over. Gigantic announcement coming up on Super Bowl Sunday, and we're excited about it. But most importantly, if you have issues with your roof, we'd love to help you out. Roof repairs, replacements, commercial, residential. We do gutter, soft wash, all of it. And if you want, I can help you. Just email me or text me or tweet me, and I'd love to facilitate and help get our crews out there to help you out. Love being locally owned and operated, serve the community. We serve all of Louisiana. So go to parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. As we say, do business with someone you know, Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com.